Hi, this is Merritt Maloof Plum with the Energy Center and Thrive Yoga and Wellness.
And my name is Jennifer Dixon, also with Thrive Yoga and Wellness.
Here today to talk about the elements. We just finished with all of the chakras the last 7 weeks. We talked about, discussed, balanced, and healed our chakras. And now we're moving into the 5 elements. We have 5 elements that are also very connected to health and wellness in any of the ancient practices of healing or yoga. And so we're going to talk about the earth element this week.
Yep. There are, like Merritt said, 5 of them. And what we've kind of discovered in our studies is that the Ayurvedic 5 elements, which is what we're going to go with, since Ayurveda is the sister study of yoga, they're a little bit different than, say, like the Chinese elements.
Well, even in the Ayurveda, you see some variations. Sometimes you see wood and ether. Other times wood's not there, but was it metal?
Metal. Yeah, that was, I thought, was in Chinese medicine.
So, I mean, like the chakras, there are there are other elements, but those are the ones that are most prevalent for Ayurvedics as they work with the different body types of the body. It's connected to those 5 elements. And we'll learn more about that
next week.
Yes.
Next week we have a guest coming on, Jennifer Ettinger. She is an Ayurvedic doctor, I guess it would be the right way of calling her, that works with us here at the studio. And we're so excited to host, I guess that's going to be like our official first guest, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, we've had Leslie.
Like Leslie's come on, yeah.
You have guests, but we haven't pulled one into this. So
yeah.
She'll probably tell us all the things we had wrong.
Yeah, probably.
So you might want to follow up.
Next week we'll say, oh yeah, and we'll maybe leave some comments down below. So this is an effort for us to kind of tiptoe into a semi-regular podcast or broadcast, rather, if you will. And we've got another client, Chloe, that's going to help us to hopefully get a podcast up and running. 2020 goals #. And so here we are week 8 into our last 90 days challenge. We only have 5 more weeks left, and these last 5 weeks we're going to go through the elements as they are in Ayurveda, starting with earth. Then we've got water next week. Fire, air, and space. And so for the next 5 weeks, we're going to be covering these different elements, starting again with the earth element, that ground.
Right. Well, and it's amazing that when we look at being in total health and we look at these energetic practices with the 5 elements, how incredibly connected we all are to Mother Earth. And so I'm glad we're starting with that one, because everything else, just like with the root chakra, everything else builds off of that.
Yep.
And when the earth is strong, then the water can flow, the blood through our veins, and the air with our mind, we have mental clarity, and the fire or electrical heat that we have.
It gets balanced, so if you don't have enough, you can build more, and if you have too much, you can let some out.
And then going all the way up to the air, is it the air?
Space.
The space, which is our spiritual connection.
And it's what holds all of these other things together.
Right.
So I'm kind of excited. This is newer territory for me to dive into. So let us know. Yeah, definitely leave some comments down below if you've got resources for us to check out. We'd love to do that.
Love to learn, always learning.
Yeah, let us know if you know anybody that likes to talk about that. That would be cool. This is an effort to try to start making something happen on a weekly or semi-regular basis if we can keep it up. So yeah, we'd love to chat more. And so diving into these earth elements as they are in Ayurveda and how it relates to the yoga practice.
So it's connected physically, like in Chinese medicine, to the spleen and the stomach and the pancreas. So with the earth practices, we want to do things that are going to strengthen those areas. It's also, like I said, it has to do with the bones, healthy bones, because that's our foundation. That's our earth. And it's interesting to me that you said that you don't really know a lot about this, but you're so connected to the earth. Like, you can go hiking and you come back a new woman.
Yeah.
So, and earthing is another thing that, you get on the earth barefoot, and it helps align and balance your energy, and you can feel like a whole new person just from walking on the earth for 5 minutes.
Yep, just being outside in nature and getting away from the chaos or whatever, because although sometimes it may look like the world and the earth is kind of chaotic, if you see a ground after a storm, like there's just peace about it too. So
Yeah, I mean, and in the laws of nature, chaos is the natural order
true.
of the universe. But when we, get outside of ourselves and connect with the earth, we come to a higher understanding of the natural laws, and we're more able to work with those. Well, hello.
This is my boyfriend. He's cute. We've made friends.
He's very grounded.
Yes, and he loves to have his tail pulled. So if you see me pulling a tail, I'm not I'm not hurting a cat. He really does like his tail pulled. I love my little big face kitty. So anyways, back to the earth. It is interesting because yes, like you I don't know, you said something. My birthday is in January, so I am a water sign. You are an earth sign.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm an earth sign.
And that might be why, I don't know, I've loved being in the earth, but where I love to be the best is right on the edge of them. Like at the beach or
where they meet
on a creek bed, anywhere like that. I used to love to go back before kids and I had time kayaking, things like that. Anytime I was in or right beside the water, but still kind of able to touch those rocks and be around them, that was like, oh, my little piece of heaven right there.
Yeah.
I
love the water too. But we need all the elements.
Yeah,
so.
That's a good thing. They're relational. They're
right.
not little tiny islands. There's no, what is it, Simon and Garfunkel?
I am a rock. I'm an island.
We're not these elements are. That was totally random.
We're not an island of the service.
Exactly. Yeah. Each of these elements have relationships. Like water and earth love each other. They like to be near each other. Fire and water, that doesn't.
Not so much.
Not so much. Yeah, they kind of negate the powers. The properties.
However, if you have a lot of fire going on within you, the water can help, create a steam. Like, don't put the fire out. Just use a little water to create steam to get yourself going.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's a cool idea, too, to get yourself going. I was thinking to cool it down, but I like the idea of getting yourself going. So from a yoga perspective, since the earth element is our bones, the structure, then it kind of goes without saying yoga poses that are helping to work on those bones to create strength, because I always seem to want to come to things through strength will be beneficial. But like when I was going through the study, it's also things, it looked like a lot of poses that were close to the ground, like Shavasana or child's pose, like getting you closer to the ground. So I thought that was interesting because my first thought was like, oh yeah, like a warrior pose, because that's standing up and you're strong and anytime you're weight bearing.
Your stance is grounded in warrior pose.
Yeah, but it's also building bone density. Like it's your weight bearing. And so it was an interesting, like, oh yeah, being close to the earth, duh. And it just kind of shows where my brain automatically goes to the strength part. But
it was interesting. I use Gaia as one of my research methods, and it was interesting to see how many earth-related yoga series there were for each element. But I was looking at earth today.
Yeah.
So I never realized just how rooted in earth and all these elements that yoga is. And I guess it's a branch of it, just like anything else. Some practices are very elemental, and I thought that was kind of cool because I love working with the elements.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that, like, what are some of the visually coming in on our earth, some of the things that make you think of strength, alive and strong?
The rocks for me, definitely. Because rocks are the foundation. They hold all the stories of the earth.
Yep.
And, they're ancient. And to me, you talk about, you're going down to the earth through, your past and even your ancestral, because the earth pulls down. The rocks for me, I'm always playing with rocks. And if you come see me for a session, you get hot rocks put all over you. And I just love
And in meditation, you use the stones too. Yeah, there's definitely energetic properties. It's almost like magnetic properties that draws you to different ones.
Right.
For me, which is an interesting thing, because I don't think we talked about it quite that much, how wood is also in some of the elements. for me, the best expression of strength is like an oak tree or a strong
with the roots deep
with
down
the roots
in
going
earth.
down. And I remember learning, and I don't know if this is a real thought, so if it is, leave a comment, and if it's not, leave a comment. Like the big oak trees, however tall it is, it's one root that's that deep, and that one that just makes my heart go like, I want to be every bit as strong going down as I am going up. And that's how you weather the storms. And then again, because chaos runs supreme and it's got its place, like those trees, the ones with the deepest roots are the ones that they might look a little funky, and I love the ones that look funky.
Well, they're rooted deep, but they're free up here to sway and be flexible.
Oh, I love
so
that.
So you imitate, the deep rooted connection, but also you imitate what they do in the wind. Like they flow with the wind. They don't fight against the wind. They're flexible.
Yeah.
Watch a pine tree sometime.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it'll bend down to the ground in those strong hurricane winds and never come up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so that's I love the rocks. Rocks and trees are my two big.
Mine too. I love trees. I love just standing up, putting my spine aligned with the tree and just imagine anything that no longer serves me grounding down into the earth. It's a really powerful practice.
That would be a cool meditation too. When I take the kids out hiking, and yes, I'm a yoga practitioner and teacher, and I have a yoga studio, so I might be a little bit out there, but I make them touch the trees. And I'm like, touch the trees, guys. What do you think the trees are saying to you? And most of the time, to take it to a 2-year-old's level, the tree's saying, don't hit me with the stick. Because my son's going around and hitting the stick. And so I pretend to talk as a tree, be like, hey, don't hit me with the stick. But on the flip side, it's just getting that awareness.
Right. I think I'm really happy that yoga and these mindful things are coming back into being, because I think we lost that for so long, and people thought we were weird because we were hugging a tree. But it's really a beautiful practice to be close to nature in any way possible.
I agree, and that's why we did, like, Alicia led the forest bathing this year a couple of times.
I've heard really great things about that.
And that's why we like to do that. That's why we had the festival, to be outside and to partner with a nature preserve that's going out there trying to help us. Right. And so we do have another festival. It's going to be next year, the last Saturday of September.
Yes.
Yeah, the last Saturday of September 2020. So go ahead, save the date. But going back to the whole yoga, like 5 little squirrels later, the point of the yoga practice with regards to this element is you want to get grounded, yes, and be close to the ground and get that support, like recognition that the earth is holding you. But then, like the tree whose roots are deep down, so we're close, we have to stand up and practice working with that grounding energy, which is why, like, every class I ever teach, it's all about playing with building your balance, building your strength, making sure what connects you to the ground, your feet, your legs, like you were talking about that downward flow of energy before we started. You want to get grounded and lay down there, but then you need to spend some time actually working on building that connection and building the strength to the earth with respect to gravity.
Yes. And as we come up into the air, that's what gives us that flexibility then to flow like the tree.
It's a beautiful image, right? Very cool.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So some foods that are grounding are any root vegetable like beets or parsnip.
I don't like beets. Oh, I love parsnips.
I love beets.
I wish I liked beets. I still try hard to like beets. I can drink a beet juice, and that's...
Potatoes.
I'll take some potatoes.
Which is one of my favorites.
So carrots then too,
carrots,
since it comes. So anything that's rooted down.
Root vegetables. Yes,
that are interesting, and I can't wait to bring the Ayurveda Jennifer next week, because in the winter those are the foods that you're supposed to eat.
Yes, and the season for the earth element is winter.
Really? Yes. Interesting. So we'll talk about that a little bit more next week as well. And also, by the way, I just scheduled it. That'd be a couple days ago. We're gonna have an Ayurvedic class coming up in January 19th. Jennifer's going to come in and teach us how we can use the season, so in this case winter and the earth element, to help to enhance our diet, to help us reach
Yes.
our wellness goals. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's coming up.
Is she only going to do the earth, or is she going to use all the 5 elements of Ayurveda?
I think since this is a 90-minute class, we're going to just talk about ways that you can use the seasonal things to help reach your wellness goals. But I'm hoping that this becomes something that we can do fairly regularly, and I've invited Jennifer to be a part of the 300-hour yoga teacher training program that is starting this year in January. So we'll have more. She'll be there more.
Yeah, I know that one of the things that we look at in the fall and winter as the weather becomes cold and more damp is there's such a thing as dampening in the spleen. So when you have that happen, it kind of throws off your digestive tract, and so you eat like orange food. She'll probably be able to go way more into this, but the spleen is connected to the earth. That's why I'm bringing this up. So
interesting.
And also tonight I will be doing a grounding meditation to help connect us with the earth element.
And so if you haven't been to Merritt's meditation class, it's Wednesdays at 7:45, and it is amazing.
Yeah, you finally came last week.
I did. I got to come, and it was awesome. I told my husband, sorry, you've got to be a single dad. You're on your own, so I can go and I can get grounded. And it's when you're doing your guided meditations, it's one of the few times in my waking hours where I can just be still. Yeah. Unless I'm completely exhausted from a physical practice, I can't. There's just so much stuff, so I love the opportunity.
Right, but we also have so many options at the yoga studio that if you feel like you need more movement, we have ways we can address that. If you need to have that quiet, silent time, we have the restorative and yin and meditation.
Yeah.
So for all of your needs, we have something
that is true
that will help you get there
to reach your wellness goals. Yeah, we have almost 40 classes a week. It kind of goes up and down depending on the seasons, and so yeah, we offer classes every single day of the week, no matter where you are in your wellness journey and what it is that you're looking for, whether you want that physical kind, which is what I tend to go for, or like the super calm and chill, which is what I'm trying to go towards.
Well, and if you aren't in Chattanooga, you can always join us for some of our Thrive Online yoga.
Yep, we also have an online membership platform where you get to practice weekly with me live virtually in a group setting, and you also have private sessions, and you can do that with me or with some of our other teachers, just kind of depending on what it is that you're looking for and looking to accomplish. So,
and the whole theory of the last 90-day challenge is to end out our year strong.
Yeah.
And so earth is also a good thing to mention, because when we are practicing yoga and other holistic healing, we are stronger and we're rooted, and as we go into the new year, we're going to be strong and
ready to take on.
For all of the beautiful things that's coming in 2020.
Yeah, and the next decade. Like, this is a new decade starting.
Right.
So we're going to end this year stronger than when we started, hopefully, and then just be off to the races come January 1. It's pretty exciting. So don't forget, we will be back here next Wednesday with Jennifer Ettinger, and we'll be talking about all things water. I hope that you enjoyed our discussion today about the earth element. And while you are in your practice this week, or today, or for the next several weeks to come, think about what makes you feel grounded. And calm and strong, even, because your bones, that gives you the ability to withstand and to stand up. If you've gone to the aquarium and you've seen the invertebrates and they're just, there's no structure. That think about the structure that you have in your practice this week, and then.
And we have a discussion going on, too, about what's your favorite way to connect to nature.
Oh, yeah. So if you haven't found out, we do have a Facebook group. It is called Thrive Yoga. If you just get into Facebook and look for the groups Thrive Yoga, we're going to be discussing the elements as we go through, just like we had been with the chakras. So definitely check us out online as well. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jennifer Dixon.
I am Mary Maloof Plum. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Y'all go in peace.
Namaste.
Namaste.